Plankton, driven by his ambition to rule the world, sneaks into the group of pet sea stars raised by SpongeBob. He proclaims himself the king of the sea star family and enslaves all the sea stars. In the end, he reaps what he sows and is swallowed whole by Patrick. How exactly do these bizarre events unfold? One day, suspecting that his pet snail, Gary, had eaten his food, SpongeBob cheerfully took his sea stars to the chum bucket and left them in Karen's care. After the handover, he rode the wind away. Meanwhile, Plankton failed again in stealing the Krabby Patty and was mocked and punished by Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs not only sneered at Plankton's inventions, calling them junk, but also forcefully sent him home after the humiliation and returned his invention device by the way. When Plankton got home, he found SpongeBob's sea star pet box in his house. Karen warned him not to touch SpongeBob's things and then went back to watching TV. Seeing all this, Plankton hatched a plot. He decided to rule over these sea stars. So, he shrunk himself and jumped into the pet box, but was almost eaten by a sea star that mistook him for a banana. In the nick of time, he activated his enlarging device and managed to escape. Taking advantage of his enlarged size, Plankton bullied every sea star, overthrew the current sea star king, and crowned himself the new king. Strangely, the deposed former king seemed very happy, although Plankton was puzzled. He didn't think too much about it and just indulged in the premium member-like privileges, enslaving other sea stars everywhere. Just as he was getting carried away, he was suddenly shot by a hidden arrow and fell into a coma. When Plankton woke up, he found himself tied up. He shouted for help, and then the former king appeared, thanking Plankton for saving him from becoming a sacrifice. The sea stars below are praying collectively. Plankton looked up and was horrified to see the tongue of a giant mouth rolling towards him. He tried to activate the enlarging device again, but the switch was too far away for him to reach. To avoid being swallowed, he bit hard into the approaching tongue. At the same time, Patrick, who was outside stealing food, suddenly felt a sharp pain and started drinking his tongue vigorously. Patrick's sucking motion caused all the sea stars in the pet box to be sucked into his mouth. The former king took the opportunity to bite through Plankton's ropes. During the fall, Plankton actually tied other sea stars under him as a cushion. Finally, Patrick swallowed them all in one bite. At this moment, SpongeBob returned to the chum bucket and was shocked to see the scene. He suspected that Patrick had eaten the sea stars, but Patrick denied it confidently and then let out a big burp. SpongeBob actually heard the voices of the sea stars inside Patrick's stomach. One of the sea stars accidentally touched the enlarging device, and Patrick's stomach swelled up. Everyone took the opportunity to escape from his mouth, and Plankton was also freed. However, the sea stars refused to recognize SpongeBob as their owner. Instead, they took over Plankton's house. Karen was so scared that she fled outside. Plankton hurriedly pressed the device switch but accidentally sent the house flying. Even so, he still fantasized about being the king and was finally swallowed by Patrick again.